All right, so that's all we talk about was us. Y'all come up with y'all questions. So right behind the camera table, y'all see the mic in the middle of the aisle. You guys can come up. This panel is specifically about credit, capital, anything about funding, those types of things. The next panel will be about how to build, how to invest in real estate, those types of things. So we want to keep the panel separate for cohesion so you can get the best value. So without being scared, who's the first person to ask a question? All right, so you about to. That's crazy. Nobody raise your hand
You know I'm going straight through this now.
Use that mic. Okay. And as you guys heard, the next person can come behind and line up for it. Y'all came to the game. Don't get scared up. Y'all want to be him. I'm a person type person. Let's talk in person. What you got, AT?
So Trump has said, well, I don't want to say that name. I want to say the red person that's in the White House. He said that he's changed laws now as far as fixing credit. So how does that affect us as consumers and as people who have bad credit and fixing our credit? How does those laws help us? And do they help us?
So a few things with that. So great question actually. So how I look at it is, though Trump is doing what he's doing, we've also been violated by who? Elon Musk, right? So it's not just what they're doing, it's how they're doing it, which is violating the consumer law up and down. So for example, everybody knows about FERPA, right? We all know that Elon Musk took everybody in issuing student loans. So a couple of people could tell you that's close to me that we wipe student loans in 4 days or 3 days flat because that's FERPA. You cannot go against my personal information, you can do anything that personal. And that's what he did. So to answer your question, it's not really affecting anything because they did a lot of bad already, and they're trying to act like it's good. So we're fine. We've been doing this, how long Trump's in the office in November? He ain't stopped nothing yet. So to answer your question, we're fine. Until we see something big and I'll update, we're good for right now.
Money rolling.
Did I answer the question?
You actually did.
Yes, ma'am.
And you actually fixed my credit.
I did everything I said, no, I'm in favor. I need my TV credit fixed. He did do that. I forgot about it. That was like a year ago. Yes, that's right.
Hey, Miss Tony, Mr. Word, show me some
love. Next question. What's your name?
Hi everybody, my name is Morgan Rogers. I'm a realty here before the lead realty.
Home team.
So specializing in new construction and first-time home buyers, one thing that I'm hearing a lot of my potential clients are nervous about when it comes to home ownership is credit. So what would be the first 3 things you would say to someone who is struggling with their credit but seeking to potentially become a homeowner?
What y'all want to take? Y'all want to take that tree?
I take it. I take it. Okay, so what I was saying, what I was saying in regards to credit to buy a home, you don't need it. I purchased my first investment property without credit. Another thing when it comes to credit as well too, you want to be able to hire people like him, right? That's going to be able to help you to get your credit fixed. But what most people don't realize is that having a business changed the game, right? Like we going back to the whole Trump situation. Trump has so many businesses. He gets in trouble when he shut the business down and he moves on. So I recommend telling your clients, and also for asset protection. So that's another thing. Asset protection is another reason why. So tell your clients, especially like first-time home buyers who are interested in buying a home, that it can do it through an LLC. And there's a lot of lenders, even the hard money lenders as well too, that will fund them for those particular homes to be able to help them to buy their first home. That's how I did it.
I love that. Thank you.
And then also life insurance. So I put my first payment on my home through life insurance, infinite banking, so I became my own bank. So that's also another thing that people don't realize, that you can become your own bank and use your own money.
Bag talk. Bag talk. We got it, team. All right. Shout out to the brothers.
I just watched your book, thank you.
Appreciate you, Q.
Speaking more so on investing in property, can you guys talk about the importance of or the pros and cons for a HELOC versus just going in and getting approved for 300, just to buy your first property, please?
I don't do too much real estate investing. I only got 3 properties, so they more seasoned in real estate.
Alright, so you said, one more time, you said, what's the importance of a HELOC?
The pros and cons for a HELOC or just going in to a lender and getting an approval letter to purchase for $350,000.
It's gonna be cheaper with a HELOC. So the HELOC can tap into your existing equity. So HELOCs operate, well, let me take it back. HELOC is a home equity line of credit, you guys. That means that whatever the equity is in your home, the equity is the difference of what you paid versus what it's worth today. By you paying that mortgage every month, you build equity. And as the area continues to grow, it grows exponentially. So when you have your equity, you can tap into it via a HELOC. A HELOC is just like a credit card, except it's backed by your home. Does that make sense, everybody? So the way it works is your first mortgage stays the exact same, and then it's a second position. This is what the HELOC they put their priority there to protect themselves. If you don't pay, then obviously you have a second on your home. But it's a line of credit that allows you to invest with interest only. So that means that your first mortgage, you're paying for principal, interest, tax, and insurance. With the HELOC, you're paying only for interest, meaning you're not paying anything towards the principal of the HELOC, but you're able to float that money without paying any additional MEPs, like I said, mortgage insurance, anything else. You're just paying for what you borrow. So if you borrow $100,000 and it's a 10% on a HELOC, then that's obviously going to be $10K, right? You divide that by 12, that's the monthly payment on that HELOC. So you're able to borrow money at a really low price to invest. Whereas if you go to the bank and get a new loan, they're going to give you a loan based on everything. Taxes, insurance, principal, the whole nine. So it's cheaper to do it with the HELOC, and it's actually flexible. Once you get a 30-year mortgage, you're stuck. You can have the HELOC, do a flip, pay it off right then and there, and then now that's your bank account that you're using, replenishing and paying. I actually use that hack, and that's how I really got lit. My mom gave me a crib, I fixed it a duplex, used the HELOC, it was paid for. Grabbed out 340, that's how I'm sitting in this building, a couple other projects, just from that one HELOC. So I'm a big fan of HELOCs, it's a great option, but don't take the money if you don't know how you're gonna pay it back, because they do expire. Typically, you get 10 years with a HELOC, after that you have to refinance it, or they can't force foreclosure, so on and so forth. But that's what I would say on the HELOC. I highly suggest it.
What's going on with money? You all hear me? Money, you say yeah?
Yeah.
My name is Ron Scott. I'm from Philadelphia. I'm a real estate wholesaler, new to the Atlanta area. So if you're an investor, I really connect. Let me know what zip code you're looking to build in. I can be your guy. My name, my business name is Black Stone Property Solutions.
What's the name of the business?
Black Stone Property Solutions.
Okay.
So my question, right? I'm looking to build business credit, no PG, to transition into getting business lines of credit, right? So what would you say is step 1 to 10 or whatever many steps it is to get there without having to use powerful social security?
I got this. So your first mistake was naming your business property. That was your first mistake when it comes to doing no PG. So anytime you guys get into the no PG space, you have to name your business something that nobody knows what it is, right?
Wait, Patrice, what's a no PG? Like people might not know.
Yeah, no PG means no personal guarantee. So not attaching your social to whatever you're doing, because building business credit, not attaching your social. As of right now, most of the #1 person in the industry when it comes to business vehicles under your business, no PG and no money down. So that's a play that we've been running for a very long time. One of my students have about 17 vehicles under her business now, no PG and no money down. It's a strategy to everything. But back to your question. Your first mistake was putting property in your business name, right? So I would recommend maybe doing a business name change. Let it be something generic. Nobody knows what it is until you tell them. The steps are actually pretty simple. Make sure that the business name is not high risk. Those NIAC codes, for those of you guys who are in real estate, a lot of you guys are putting your business in high risk categories off the bat. So NIAC code, your SIC code, you guys go to the banks. The banks are put in place to probe at what you guys are doing. So they're gonna ask you questions like, hey, what are you doing? You're like, oh, I'm in real estate, high risk. You flagged yourself without even knowing that you flagged yourself, right? So there's other options when it comes to the no PG side of things, but you wanna make sure that business name is good, business address is good. The way that you figure out business address now is that you go to USPS website, go to address search. If there's an N there, you know that that's not a good address. If there's a Y there, that means that it's a good address. So some of you guys right now may be already in high-risk categories and don't even realize that you put yourself in those categories. From there, now you can get a paydex score in 3 weeks. Let me tell y'all how to do that. Four simple vendors that you guys can use right now to get a paydex score.
Write it
In
down.
3 weeks, right?
Yeah, I was about to say, you might gotta slow it down.
I know I'll be talking so fast, y'all gotta slow me down, 'cause I'll be in my zone. I'm Caribbean, y'all, I'll be in my zone, okay? Y'all need me to slow down, just tell me to slow down, I got it, you know? I got
Unless
it.
y'all already know, everybody y'all know all the information is going already.
Y'all wanna keep talking or no? Yes or no? Y'all wanna keep talking? Yes or no? No, we talking.
I'm gonna run it back for y'all, I'm gonna slow it down. Business name first, make sure it's not high risk. NIAC code, SIC code, make sure it's not high risk. Those codes you guys can use either other management consulting services, management consulting services. Do not use administrative management consulting services, it's considered high risk, okay? Business address needs to be good. Do an online search with a business address. If it comes up and it says virtual at the very, very top, high risk. Make sure it says office space or co-working space, okay? Business credit. Get your DUNS number. If you guys are not familiar with Dun & Bradstreet, biggest bureau when it comes to the business credit side of things, okay? 4 vendors right now that you guys can use. We no longer use net 30s like Quill, Uline, nobody uses that anymore. We utilize subscription-based vendors. So you can do figure, like fear and figure. They also help you guys get funding for your business as well too. No peaches, okay? eCredible is another option. It's like $19 a month that you guys can use. With eCredible, if you are the president of the business, you can upload all your personal bills and they will report as a trade line. So now you have all these trade lines reported in eCredible because you have a business account with them. Now keep in mind with eCredible, they have 2 parts. They have a personal and a business setup. Make sure you set up the business side of it, not the personal side. eCredible is going to ask you for your personal information, but that's for identification purposes only. You got to know the difference between that when it comes to the no PG side of things. For instance, you go to the dealership and the dealership says, hey, we can give you this vehicle under your business, but we need your social for verification. CAP, that is not verification, okay? My social don't show you a photo of me so you can identify me. My driver's license do, so what you would do is you would send them back your driver's license and say something very simple. My social is not a form of identification. Here's my driver's license where you can identify who I am. That's how you get away from PG every time, guys. Right, the third vendor that you guys can use is a company called NAV. So NAV has their regular account and then they have the NAV Prime account. You don't need the NAV Prime account, that's PG, but you do need the NAV subscription base. And then there's a new player in the game called Growagy. They report to Experian and Equifax business. This is how you guys can get a paydex score in 3 weeks, yes.
Repeat that last one, you said the last one.
Growagy, so like strategy, but Growagy.
The first one was fair figure.
Fair figure, yes, FAIR, like fair figure. Fair figure is good with funding as well too. So once you connect your bank account to them, with them, they'll fund you guys as well too. There's so many options to be able to do the no PG side of things. So that's how you build a paydex score fast and then you just run up a bag from there. Yeah, you're welcome. I heard you. So your paydex score, you have a social security number? Yes. That's basically what it is on the business side. Yeah, so you need to have a Dun & Bradstreet account. Every business owner in here should have a Dun & Bradstreet account, Experian business account, and Equifax business account. These are the 3 major bureaus on the business side. There's also another bureau called PayNet that people are not familiar with, but they deal with business vehicles. And then there's also another bureau called CATRA for the trucking industry that people do not talk about at all. But these are the players that you guys need to be able to take yourself from 0 to 7 figures real fast.
And where did you say that trucking one was?
CATRA. Yeah.
Like, what was the code?
K, so it's K, CATRA.
Or cart.
Yeah.
And then can we have your information, so you have 5 social businesses?
So as of right now, you guys can find me on all social media platforms, which is gonna be Her Secret Vault. I know, people think it's all types of stuff, but that's what I want them to think, right? This is how I maximize my funding. So Her Secret Vault, or on YouTube, I have Boston Bill's Business Credit. With that YouTube channel, I give out a lot of free game as well too. So you guys can find me on every platform. That's also another thing to the guy. When it comes to the no PG side of it. If I cannot find you, I'm not going to lend to you. You guys have to be findable on the no PG side. Meaning that if you type in Percy Ball right now on your phone, I pop up on the first 5 pages of Google. Hard work, okay? But it's easy for you guys to do it. Just lock down all social media platforms, put up 1 or 2 videos here and there, put up a LinkedIn, and it's easy for you to be able to take up the first side of Google. Also, you have to get on the right side of Google. If you guys are not on the right side of Google right now, on the no PG side, you guys are losing already. Meaning that when you Google me, I'll pop up on the right side of Google that shows that I'm a legit business. All right?
Real tough.
DJ Patrice.
She went so crazy.
For sure. You got a question? Another question?
Let me ask one more.
I would let this guy leave. You for us to go out with. Richard Brad.
What's it called?
Hi, my name is Tajana. I'm an educator here in Atlanta. Started into this invested real estate world. I'm really interested in investing. I want to know what are some ways to get like funding to start as an investor.
Alright, well, an easy way to get funded for your business is like literally, I do the opposite of what she does. So she do a lot of no PG stuff. I do a lot of PG stuff because it's faster. So one way to go is start building banking relationships. So a lot of y'all got Truist here, y'all got Bank of America, y'all got Chase, y'all got Armory's banks. All of these banks give out 0% interest funding. But what you, like I told you guys last time, you don't want to apply online. You want to go to LinkedIn, put bank relationship manager for whatever bank you want to get. And when you apply to them, you're going to be able to get higher limits. In a lot of the cases, you're not going to have to you're not going to have to show tax returns, bank statements, P&Ls, a bunch of stuff that a lot of people don't have when they're starting out. So
Say that one more time, folks. Say that one more time.
So what y'all want to start doing is building banking relationships. So I'm gonna give y'all a website y'all can go to. It's called Bank Branch Locator. All you gotta do is put your zip code in there. All of the banks are gonna pop up in your area. And then I'm gonna give y'all another website. It's called Help Me Build Credit. So you can find 3 to 5 banks on bankbranchlocator.com. Then you go to Help Me Build Credit. Y'all, I'm giving y'all a lot of sauce right now because Help Me Build Credit is gonna give you the data points that the last person got approved. So if the last person got data points are like what their credit score was, how much income they made, or what they put, exactly what they put on the test, right? So if you go to both of those websites and you compare both the information, you're gonna be able to run up the bag. But you want to make sure that you're finding banks that offer like 0% interest credit, also lines of credit for startups, and like I said, run up the bag. It's really easy to do. Another thing you guys don't realize y'all can do is a lot of y'all work jobs right now. And what she's telling you how to do is how to leverage funding without using your social. Another way you can do it is leveraging your 9-to-5 income by putting that money in a business bank account, letting it sit there, starting to create some transaction history. I know a lot of y'all thinking like, damn bro, ain't I gonna have to pay taxes on that money? Everybody thinks that, right? Whenever you put your job income into your business bank account, people think you're gonna get taxed, but that's not the case. So if you talk to any good CPA, any good accountant, they're gonna let you know that they're gonna know where that money derived from, which is your job, so you're not gonna get taxed on it, right? So that's a way for you to start getting funded. You can take that job money that you're making, you can go to places like Upgrade, you can go to places that are gonna offer you revenue-based funding if your credit isn't good. And then if you got decent credit, you can run the play that I just taught you, which is go to Bank Branch Locator, go to Help Me Build Credit, and try to find 3 to 5 banks that pull from each bureau. So one pull from TransUnion, one pull from Equifax, one pull from Experian, and that's how I've been able to get a quarter million 0% interest funding.
You walk in the banks and get a bag.
Yeah. And don't just go get funded if y'all don't need it, because a lot of the times they're gonna give you introductory rates, which is usually 12 months to 15 months. So if you don't have a play yet, don't go get the funding until you got the play, because you don't want to have the funding and then the time starts ticking, because that's what me and KC did. We got a property out in South Carolina. I help people get funding, so I just helped myself get another business credit card with Chase. I think I got a 40-piece from them. Sent her $20K, 10 for rental, 10 so we could get the property. Then we had to show like proof of funds, liquidate another credit card, put it in your business bank account. So now you're able to get down payment money, you're able to show the hard money lender that you got proof of funds for rehab, and you're able to run up the bag and leverage your banking relationships.
What Future said has too much sauce.
Yeah.
So I want to just piggyback over what he's saying as well, some great information, thank you, by the way. So another thing that I want you guys to know is that when it comes to what he's saying with the money transfer, talking to your CPA or your EA, which is an enrolled agent, an enrolled agent is certified through the IRS, right? So they know the tax loophole. So what you want to do is when you're using a 9-to-5 money, which is a great tip that he just gave you guys, make sure you guys put in the memo owner's loan. So you're lending money to the business, and then when it's time for you to get paid back, you put the owner's reimbursement. So your CPA or your EA should know that, right? Also piggybacking off of what he was talking about with the bank branch locator, right? Now you can use a company called Fund AI or Capital Match AI. Does the same exact thing. AI is a game changer, y'all.
Sure is.
Did I answer your question?
TJ?
Yes, absolutely, thank you.
No problem.
Hey, what's your name?
I'm Tanya.
Hey, Tanya.
Hi.
I'm a realtor here also.
She's also your home team for the realty.
So I have a question about bankruptcy. So someone whose credit is not the best, should they file or should they just start and just do it? How do you feel about bankruptcy?
So real quick, let me ask you a question. As a realtor, you do know what happens after you file bankruptcy, right? So that's the answer right there. So when you file bankruptcy, right, you have to wait 2 years to apply for anything. And they're going to tell you that. So for example, I have a few relationships in Northwest DC, and my guy's name is Big Vince. Big Vince said, anybody that comes and says anything about getting funding, they have not even just one bankruptcy. You usually have 4 or 5 on there. I didn't even have that many bankruptcies on one report. I've seen them. But you have one bankruptcy. You file bankrupt. You have to wait 2 years to do anything. Then 2 years, which makes 4, to go and get a home with the bankruptcy on your report. So it's not worth it to reset or try to run away from the fight. You got 2 options: do it yourself or hire security consultant LLC to fix it. Because in reality, bankruptcy, any mistake that you made is not the end of your life. I know. Let me ask y'all a question. I know I should be asking this, but who listens to Money Man? Raise your hand. Now, the reason why you see people raising their hand, Money Man's been this for the last 10 years. Use the credit, mess the credit up, clean the credit, rinse and repeat. People think Money Man can't rap. If you really listen to what that man's been saying, he's been doing this for 10 years straight. Look up Money Man when you get a second. People and he'll tell you, hey, use credit. Use credit for everything. So to answer your question, Mom, where she go? Answer your question. If somebody think about bankruptcy, ask if you want to reset your life for 4 years to do nothing. Or do you want to fight the good fight? Did I answer your question?
So I'm gonna take one more on this time. What you got?
One, just like I said, I appreciate all y'all. I've been around for a while, right? The game y'all Billionaire, people don't do it. People don't do it. So I really appreciate like each and every one of y'all. Like, people put us into that. This shit like next level. Like y'all really pouring that in. And God bless y'all. About auto trade, so I hear about it all the time. People ask me about it. I really don't know. I really got a phone call and we hear, yo, bro, can you let me know? I'm like, I don't even know what to tell you to start with it. Right? So if y'all speak on auto trade lines, we go to websites, we can research, we can use it and also reports.
So you saying auto like vehicle trade lines?
Oh, that's
One thing I will tell you guys is, I'm glad she's here because I got burned. I literally paid somebody $5,000 and they were supposed to put some auto trade lines on my court for me. Long story short, they never dropped them, so I'm glad she's here so she can show you guys the right way to do it, because there's a lot of predatory people out here that are gonna sell you things that they don't got for sale, all these data furniture, so definitely make sure y'all listen to her answer.
Thank you. I agree with him. Even when it comes to business trade lines, sometimes you guys do the business trade lines as well. And same exact thing, like so many people online right now that's just taking people money. I've been there, done that 10 grand down the drain. I'm like, bro, where you went? But this is way before I understood business, right? But back to your point when it comes to auto trade line, just be very careful. I'll say for you, is it for business or personal?
Personal.
Okay, so for personal, I'm gonna give you a hack. Everybody might want to take their phone out right now and start recording it. Like immediately. Okay. Immediately. All right, I'm gonna give y'all 5, 4, 3, 2. All right, 1. All right, very simple. Use AI.
Yep.
Right? My bad, y'all. My bad. No, all jokes aside, utilize AI. But here's the thing about AI: what people them, all right? So here's what we're gonna do. Hey ChatGPT, my name is Patrice S. Jordan. I have a 500 credit score. I'm looking to get an auto trade line for my business. Can you provide me 5 places that I can get personal auto trade lines to be able to get a vehicle under my business? Please only provide people that have reputable matches. That's simple. It's gonna give it to you.
Close off gonna get fed.
At home.
I don't know what ChatGPT she got.
I got the 4.0. She paid for it. Right, there you go.
So, we got one more from my mentee, Tiffany. What's going on, Tiffany? And Tiffany, y'all, by the way, one of my mentees, we're actually under contract for one of her first good jobs. So what you got, Tiff?
Alright, so I have a question. My question is, what is the time frame for like applying for credit? Like, how should you do it strategically so that it doesn't, adversely affect your personal or your personal credit or your options for getting credit?
I'm gonna look, so I always tell people this straight up. Personal makes me feel weird. I know personal credit. Personal makes me feel weird. So I myself have almost close to $1 million in business credit. How do I do that? As soon as you apply for a business credit card, you write the inquiry immediately because business reports to business and personal reports to personal, right? So to answer your question, if you have 32 inquiries right now that are not attached to open accounts, write them. Stop applying. Everybody stop applying for personal credit cards. Once you got over a 720 or higher, only business. Only business. You don't gotta do one more personal credit cards. I only have to do like 12, 13 personal credit cards registered straight business. Only. Now, look. The reason why though is because you start to realize is only have that many because maybe 2 are actual personal lines of credit. They know what personal lines of credit are, right? They'll definitely tell you to let them do that, but if you have a personal line of credit, that's cash on hand. So if you go to a bank, they have to respect that. So I have a $50,000 personal line of credit with PSECU. That's Pennsylvania State Employees Credit Union. They shut the saws down, but you can still use them though, right? Now, Jews put $100 to a bank account, and I got a $50,000 business line of credit. So I have 2 personal credit lines that are equaling $100,000, right? That's why I got my property in Baltimore, no money down.
Real tough.
Also, I'll teach you guys about credit card stacking. So a lot of y'all don't realize he got 12 because he credit card stacked, and it's pretty much the same information I gave y'all earlier, which is we got to do it on the personal side and the business side. So before you go get business funding, you need to get at least 5. You don't need 12, but if you need, I ain't gonna tell you how much money you need, but you need at least five good credit cards. So like I said, you're gonna go to TransUnion, find some banks that pull TransUnion, find some banks that pull Experian, find some banks that pull Equifax. Get your funding. Don't do anything though. Wait 6 months, wait a year, then go get the business funding because y'all be eligible for business funding. Then y'all go do something stupid. Go get another credit card. Go get another line of credit. Go get an auto loan. So like you said, once your credit is good, don't touch it no more. Now you can start to do what she says, build the business credit. Now you can start doing what I'm saying, leverage it and get business funding and keep running up a bag. So once y'all get that criteria, don't go back. All y'all should do every 3 to 6 months is just actual limit increases. That way you don't gotta get more credit cards, you just make the limits bigger.
Good point, with both of the guys. So another thing I want you guys to do is to protect yourself, right? So protect your assets. A lot of people don't understand that when it comes to paperwork, your paperwork must be great. So they both told you guys how to go get a bag, right? He said once you have good credit, make sure that you start doing it on the business side. He talked about business funding. Amazing tips. However, if you guys do not know, 62% of LLCs get audited by the IRS. And the reason why they get audited is because the IRS know that you don't have something as simple as a corporate kit, right? That costs you $120-something depending on where you get it from. Your paperwork is important because now what I'm doing is basically telling the business that, the business is telling me that, hey, you are the president of the company. I need you to go get funding. That covers me when the IRS decides to say, well, who told you you can go get funding for this business? Well, here's my minutes. The corporation, because remember, EIN and Social Security number, you are one person, the business is somebody totally different, right? Remember that, don't attach the two. You can PG, yes, but PG making sure you protect your assets. So your paperwork has to be in order. You need minutes, You need all your documentation in there, so your minutes are gonna say that the business allowed me to get a cell phone. The business